you know? And it's not really about him because he hasn't asked for forgiveness and I can't have him in my life. But really fully looking at where does that come from? Like, who hurts a kid? And what are all the layers of a culture that created that person and a life that created that person? And how along the way, I think at every stop, was a culture where, and this is something else we do to men, he couldn't be wrong. There was nothing worse than having to apologize and take responsibility and say, I made a mistake. And so layer after layer after layer just got compressed and pushed down until it like warped something fucking fundamental in him. And he did something monstrous. So if I push it down in me and I just compact that rage, which is justified rage, and compact that pain, which is pretty present, then it's going to warp me and I'm going to become a monster. And that phrase of like hurt people, you just keep rolling. But I can take another perspective, which is it stops here. And that only stops through fucking like forgiveness, like an Olympic sport. You know what I mean? Like practicing it every
How do you
fucking
practice
day.
it? How and does it need to be too? Does the forgiveness need to extract that pain?
Mm-hmm.
Does the forgiveness need, in your case, does it need to be to the perpetrator? Does
Mm-hmm.
it need to be to him personally?
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you practice it and how does it manifest itself?
So the first really good advice I got was from somebody who was in AA, who talked about how like your sense of entitlement, your sense of being wronged will be the reason you drink. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, I got fucked for this, so I deserve a drink, whatever. And I was like, okay. And he goes, so you pray for your enemies. And I was like, ugh, God, really? But he wasn't wrong. And I don't, like my spiritual practice looks a little different than like the kind of traditional Christianity that he was really involved with. But like, yeah, man, like I wish you peace. I wish you blessed, like anything I would wish for myself or my best friends or my children. Just over and over and over and over again. You don't have to mean it at the beginning. You don't have to mean it. But, as you find when you're learning lines, you say something over enough, you just start to believe it, which is also a part of the healing, because if I can forgive him, I have power. I have agency. Whereas what I learned from the experience was you have no power. You can't stop this. You can't protect yourself. And you must be a piece of shit, because only bad kids would have that happen to them, right? And so through those conversations with myself of, I wish you peace, I wish you forgiveness, I wish you joy, I wish you ease, I wish you release, to get to a point of going, I can wish you those things because I have them and I deserve them too.
How long have you been practicing that?
It took a couple of years to get through to the adults in my life. And interestingly, the first person in my life who was ever like, I believe you and how can I go kill him was my husband.
Sure.
But I think the forgiveness of it all, I was probably 22, 23. It was actually around the time that he walked out of my life. And I was like, oh, there's not resolution coming here, which means it's on me. But actually, if it's just going to be me, I can do this however I want. You know, I can hold on to the rage. And I still struggle with that, right? Like in the moments when we talked about this before, but that like, what it means is that I'm a really kind person until you put me in the position where I got to protect myself. And then I go full
Sometimes
Targaryen.
it's a little much. Yeah.
A little much, because there's nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
There's either I feel safe,
Yeah.
or I've got the knives out to protect that 4-year-old kid behind me, and you're not getting through me. And that's the challenge of my adult life.
Right.
Is not always going, this one goes to 11. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's a 2.
Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes somebody just like stepped on you, and you got to be like, hey, get your foot off of me. No problem. We're good. Right.
How you doing with that? I'm just wondering.
I don't know. How do you feel I'm doing with that?
I feel like you're doing, I mean, look, man, I feel like you're doing good. I mean, I feel like you're doing
Your
better.
voice just went up an octave.
Nah, I mean, like, look,
you're okay.
I've seen you snap on some motherfuckers, like, for sure. And like, for me, it's like, again, like, I got my own brand of, me, I'm like the biggest bitch in the world. Oh, sorry about bitch, but whatever. But when I say bitch, I don't mean woman. I mean like a little bitch ass. You know what I mean? It's like different. Yeah. But like, I have my own problems with conflict, as you know. Like, I do only know how to have one kind of conflict. So I let motherfuckers walk all over me all day. I need you to take me to a certain point. And then it's like, okay, then you want to have that kind of conflict? Cool. Big problem with me. I'm trying to, but I saw you fucking, snap on motherfuckers, and a few times I was like, God damn. I don't think I've really seen, besides when you snapped on me, like I haven't really, but that was different. I don't know.
At this point, that was like a year or two ago.
Yeah. I think you are doing good with that, honestly. I just, but I think you're right, man. It's like, it kind of goes into everything that we're saying, to like understand that there's real power in empathy. There's real power in saying like, I'm not, I'm gonna own this pain, and I'm gonna do something with it. I'm gonna
doing something with it.
Yeah.
Is fucking critical.
Yeah, man.
Like putting it to work for other people.
That's right.
Is such an important part of this. I was walking with a friend of mine just a couple hours ago who's an alcoholic, and he was like, the only way I stay sober is through service. That's the only way, because I can't do it for me, And it's like, that's true. It's really, really true. And it's part of why we need to live in community, because when you live in community, it's got to be why this fucking pandemic was so hard for some people, because they were so isolated, right? Like we at least had our favorite people in the world with us, but and creatures, but like you have to put it to work, because every time I can sometimes see it in people, and just be like, who hurt you? And there's that like it's okay, but it always starts with like, it's not your fault. And 9 out of 10 times they just start sobbing. You're like, it's really not your fault. And I'll just keep saying it until you believe it. It's really not your fault. You didn't.
Do you believe that?
About myself?
Do you feel like you have that? Do you feel like you have that part of it licked?
Yeah.
And even though you've never gotten an apology, you've never gotten an admittal, or is it admittal? Admittal? Is that a word?
Nope. I don't think it is.
Even though he's never admitted it or owned it, you feel like you've got that squared, right?
The part, I still feel a little bit like I struggle with like, am I a piece of shit? Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like it's my fault. But I do, like, I find myself sometimes reflexively going into self-destruct sequence. But now I'm at a point where I can see it. And I go, I know what this is. This isn't mine.
Such a huge step, man.
This isn't mine.
Yeah.
This was, somebody took a big shit in the middle of my childhood, and it's that. So get that out of my way, and it's, you got to keep an eye on it. But every time there's a chance to connect with somebody and like be like, I'm just a couple steps further along this path, come with me. That's putting it to use, you know? And so then it becomes like, okay, there's a place to put this. It's not a sort of nihilistic, like, why did this happen? This has no meaning. It's just awful. I'm a much more compassionate person, a much more empathetic person. And I can reach people sometimes because there's certain things that like, and I know there are parts of your life that are like this too. There's certain things that like you really can only be helped by somebody who's been
That's right.
in those shoes.
That's right.
And so, great, you know, I've been in them. Let's walk. Let's do this.
Yeah, you fucking, that is you, man. I mean, you are down to help. You are fucking down to help.
Makes me feel useful.
Yeah.
It makes me feel useful, which is important to me, you know?
Yo, man, I love you. I really appreciate you doing this, man.
I love you too.
Yeah, man. Take your rest.
Thank you, brother.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. He just wanted to be in the picture.